Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Cox, and I'm the host of the New America Movement. We appreciate you tuning in this evening. Let me say, first of all, that I'm so glad to have my co-host, Jordan Cox, with me today. Jordan, say hello.
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
Oh, we got a crazy show today, Jordan. You know, when you think news can't get any more stupider, when it can't get any more funnier, when you see things happening in this country, you say, how do people come up with this stuff? We got this crazy thing floating around in the South now in Asheville. And it seems to be about Antifa sending an email to the police department. Jordan, you want to weigh in on this?
Yeah, I just want to read this email real fast, and then we can start everything. This is from Antifa, and it says, "Dear Asheville Police Department, we are tired of your lack of protection for the innocent civilians who are peacefully protesting. There have been multiple incidents where there have been immediate threats to the safety and security and well-being of the protesters, with Asheville Police Department having little to no response time. Due to the lack of safety and security provided by the Asheville Police Department, citizens have had to protect and deputize themselves. If Asheville Police Department does not ensure the safety of the protesters, then we, in all caps, Antifa, will at all cost. The ball is in your court. Here is your chance to show the city that you are being the heroes that you claim to be. If you fail to meet our demands, then we, in all caps again, Antifa, will continue our own ways and methods to keep the good people of this city safe." Take a guess what that is. "We will no longer put up with your oppression in any form," in all caps. "Due to your lack of safety and support, you have forced us to do your job for you. We will not allow you to tell us that what we are doing is wrong. If safety is what you truly want, then you will shape up and do your jobs correctly. This includes keeping peaceful protesters safe, whether they are armed or unarmed. If you continue to fail to protect protesters, we will continue to successfully do so. If you continue to harass us for doing so, you will be met with further action. This is your only formal warning. Sincerely,
Now, do you laugh at this or do you take it serious? Because now you have an activist group in America threatening the police department of Asheville that they're not doing their job. And obviously, now I didn't know people could deputize themselves. Now,
I didn't know that was a thing.
That's a new one on me. I thought that had to come through the sheriff's department, but obviously they know more about that than I do, because
they don't. They're idiots.
They're
trying to find a way to get there so they can cause damage. That's all they're trying to do. And so let's talk about Antifa for a second. Why don't y'all ever come to South Carolina? Like upstate South Carolina, where the rednecks are. Y'all go to Seattle in 2020 and y'all create this little Chaz place, and Chaz stands for Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. So on June 8th, Seattle police frantically loaded what they could from the East Precinct into trucks and cars. Within hours, they boarded up and abandoned the station. That night, left-wing protesters from Black Lives Matter and Antifa declared ownership of the 6-block neighborhood in the middle of the Pacific Northwest's largest city. They named their new territory the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, or Chaz. No laws or rules applied here except for one: no cops allowed. Now, I bring that up because we're talking about Asheville. What do y'all think they're going to do in Asheville Police Department if you back down and don't do anything? They're going to be setting up a Chaz right there in Asheville. And it's going to be no cops can come in here. And we saw how well that worked out because it's not there no more in Seattle. But if you allow them to do this, they would try to do this and set up shop there. Antifa is not a joke. I'm going to just put that out there. We can laugh at them. We can make fun of them because they're idiots and they're stupid and they dye their hair green and it makes them look, I guess, cool. And they get, little black outfits and shields and they go out thinking they're, it's almost like cosplay to me. So they do this and then they want to try to fight people that they can beat up. But I don't see y'all anywhere near people that will actually shoot back at you. Okay. And I'm not calling for violence. I don't want people to say that. I'm just saying that they're cowards. Okay. They want to go to these liberal cities. Asheville is liberal. They are a liberal city, Democrat city. They want to go to these Democrat cities and burn it down. That's what they mean in this letter. In this letter, what they're saying is, do what we say or we're going to come and do what we do best. And that's burn it to the ground. I mean, look everywhere Antifa has been. Me and you were in D.C. What did you see? Boarded up windows? Did you see that?
Absolutely.
Did you see police officers at every doggone corner that you walked?
Absolutely.
Why were they there? Why were police there? They couldn't do anything to them. They literally told us, me and you, go inside. Nothing we can do about it. Let me tell you right now, and I am not calling for any violence or whatever, but Antifa, be careful, because you may pick a fight that you really don't want to be a part of. And I'm not talking about where you throw fists and you go home to your mama and you say, oh, mom, you go to the basement where you're at and you say, oh, mom, I got in a fight with a protester and he beat me up. And you go to your safe space and you stay there for 4 days and you get yourself together. And we're not talking about that. I'm talking about you lose your life. You're threatening to come burn down the city of Asheville. You're threatening to come and do harm to the citizens of Asheville. How is this not related? First of all, how is this not illegal? Second of all, is this not under some sort of domestic terrorist thing? Is this not under some sort of... Now, I'm not calling Antifa a domestic terrorist organization. I personally believe they are, but a lot of people don't. They believe it's an idea. Did an idea send this email? Did an idea send the email? Is an idea going to Asheville? I don't believe so. I believe it's a bunch of punks that are trying to come out here and scare people into doing what they want, or we're going to come burn your city down. And you can't do nothing about it, they say, because you'll be met with further action. That is a threat on a police department.
Absolutely. So you threaten the police department. Naturally, the government's got to get involved in this because the stability and safety of that city now is in question. That is a direct threat made by a political activist group to cause harm either to the police or the protesters. But what's interesting is they've never invited the police to do their job in other places around the country, because if you go back and look in the last several years where these protests have taken place with Antifa, I mean, there was extreme violence. Well, when we were in D.C., we saw extreme violence. What did they do? They did absolutely nothing. They watched these protesters fight, shoot, cause mayhem, destroy property. And that's been the action all across the country. And Antifa never allowed nor called for police departments or police officers to step in and try to calm situations or to bring anything under order. Now, apparently, they're trying to pick a fight with the people of Asheville. So what's interesting is to see how this plays out and who's behind it. Now, I'll guarantee you, if that was a white supremacy group, David Duke or any of these other Proud Boys that had gotten involved and made these kind of statements,
they'd be in jail right now.
Well, it would be on CNN. It would
be everywhere.
It would be everywhere. But because it's Antifa, you don't hear a whole lot about it. But our listeners need to know that that is still a very potent political activist group that wants to cause bodily harm, and they will cause bodily harm where they can.
So can I just ask this, though? How, in God's name, are we really talking about January the 6th whenever we have legitimate threats being made to police departments? and to other citizens of Asheville, not every citizen in Asheville is going to be in this protest. Not every citizen in Asheville is not going to be trying to harm anybody.
Right.
You're just going to go down and burn down these cities, and you're going to go down there and harass people and do whatever it is that you do, Antifa, and expect no repercussion? Is that really what you expect? You really expect to do this with nobody to stop you?
Are they going to be this little left-wing, what I call soft cushion baby approach to this and say, well, you know, we're afraid, we're going to bow down and make sure that we meet their demands? If that's the case, it's bad for America. What do you think?
Well, or if they do that, if they do that, if they bow down and say, okay, Antifa, come up, what happens next? Do you really, really think that this won't turn into a legitimate problem? Like where people will legitimately drive up there to try and cause harm to Antifa? This type of stuff creates more violence. When you let Antifa come up and do whatever they want to do, and you say, okay, you know what, Antifa, you come up here to Asheville, you protest and you protect the protesters, and we'll let you be the police. If you allow that, then what you're allowing is other people to come up there, but they're going to get arrested, right? They're going to be the ones getting arrested, not Antifa. When you set that precedent, what happens next?
Anytime you have leadership in a city and it's blue and it's liberal and they wink at events like this and they tell the police department to stand down, like we've seen in Portland and Seattle and Chicago and many places around the country.
Hence Kyle Rittenhouse.
It always turns out bad. It always means that there's going to be bodily harm and massive multi-million-dollar losses to property. So
look at Kyle Rittenhouse and that situation.
Right, but how will this work out for Asheville? I see no way out of this where it turns out good for the city.
You have to stand up strong and say,
you have to stand up
that
strong.
If you come, we will arrest you.
Right, and we will be ready for you. Yes. We will do what we've got to do to protect this city and any other city around the country. If you don't, it's going to get out of control, and these people are going to be massively empowered to set that precedence against any voice that they deem that they can place upon any municipal throughout America.
Right, and what Antifa means by protecting the protesters is some protesters probably got in a fight.
Kyle Rittenhouse protecting protesters? Is that what you're talking about?
No,
I know what you're saying, but where were they for him?
That's what I'm saying.
They don't really protect protesters. The whole thing about the protesters that we've seen the last several years is the violence. It's not people holding flags. It's the fighting and the burning of property and the destruction of property.
They're wanting to come and burn down Asheville. That's why if you think Antifa is going to come up here after that letter to them and just walk down the street and just, hey, how you guys doing? You guys doing good? Oh, that place is boarded up. I don't know why. We're so nice. We're so kind.
We've met some of these people. You can't make this stuff up. It happens every day. You report it. You tell people, look, you're not going to believe this, but this is what's happening in our country. Antifa threatening the city of Asheville, the police department, and letting them know that if you do not do what we say do, you're going to meet us with force. Crazy, crazy stuff. You just can't believe this is happening in our country. So it's been a great show. Thank you for tuning in, Jordan. God bless you. Have a great day. Folks, thank you, New American Movement. God bless and have a great day.